Thrifting used to only be for poor people. Now it's a personality, a business model, and somehow still getting more expensive. So let's talk about how we got here. For a long time, thrift stores were not considered cute. They were a way of survival. Charity shops, church basements, places working class and immigrant families went because they had to, not because it looked good on Pinterest. This is way before we had any kind of technology like the internet. People literally had to go to thrift stores or charity shops to have clothing. Then you get the counterculture kids, which were punk, hippie, alt scenes, digging through bins because it was anti-mall, anti-mainstream, anti-establishment, still judged by at least a little bit cool in their own newfound communities. Fast forward to the 2010s, fast fashion explodes, overconsumption gets exposed, recession hits, and suddenly secondhand is rebranded as sustainable. Thrifting shifts you from broke to you're conscious and you have good taste. And during this time, I was in middle school. I didn't have money to afford new clothes, so I would go thrifting with whatever money I got from my allowance and chores that I did or birthday money. If I wanted new clothes, I would have to go thrift them. And during this time, I was heavily bullied in middle school. I often got made fun of because I didn't have the newest phone. I had a flip phone. Everyone else had iPhones and so on and so forth. You get the picture. And it's just funny now, the same people who were saying that, I see them doing a bunch of thrift hauls, but it's funny how the pendulum always swings. Now it's the aesthetic in business, then social media just pours gasoline onto this trend of thrift hauls. Come vintage shopping with me. Depop girl is selling $3 tees as Y2K baby core for $40. Apps basically turned Goodwill into a wholesale supplier for people to source. People with money are thrifting for fun or for a side hustle to have a cute aesthetic little business page, while the people who actually rely on it walk in like, why is this worn out hoodie now $18? Now there is tension, and the tension being something created as a lifeline for low income communities is now an aesthetic and a revenue stream for everyone else. And I'm not saying never resell or never thrift if you're not broke, but we do have to be honest about how trend cycles and reselling culture helped gentrify even secondhand clothing. If you've ever been to the Goodwill bins, you know what I'm talking about, that these people are absolutely fucking insane and just go fucking feral over these pieces of clothing. And yes, it's much better than them going into a landfill. Clothing, I mean, causing pollution, clothing textile pollution is a very big problem that we have, and in many countries as well. And I think, like, I don't know, it's just this kind of weird area where it's like, do we allow resellers to go through the mounds and mounds of clothing that will probably never be worn? Or do we gatekeep it specifically just for low income people and not support the reselling community, which I don't think will ever happen realistically?